Hi, in this video we are going to discuss about the experiment PLC based control of dosing pump. The setup available in the screen is a model of a dosing pump. Here you can see that there is a circular plate which can rotate and in which there are four slots where you can keep small medical capsules. The objective of the experiment is when you start the process by pressing a start button, the rotor plate should start to rotate, and whenever the medical capsule is exactly below the solenoid valve is available here. So whenever the capsule is exactly below the solenoid valve, your rotor has to stop. Once the rotor has stopped, the solenoid valve should have to open for a very short period of time, which emulates filling of the capsule by some suitable medicines. So once the solenoid valve is closed, your rotor should continue rotation. So once the next capsule comes exactly below the solenoid, the rotor has to stop. Then the solenoid has to open for fraction of a second, and it has to stop, and the rotor should rotate, and the process should continue on till you make full rotation. This is the sequence of operation of this experiment. The sequence, what I have told you, is given in the screen in words. I hope you are able to understand it. Now, let us check what are all the inputs available for the PLC. The first input is going to be the run button, which is a normally open push button. And there are two sensors. One sensor is an ultraviolet sensor. Sorry, it is an ultrasonic sensor. It is used to detect the presence of the medical capsule exactly below the solenoid. And there is another sensor called home sensor, that is to indicate the starting position of our rotor. In case of the output, we have two outputs, that is our rotor motor and solenoid. The sequence of operation is as below. It is when run button is pressed, the rotor should start to rotate, and when the sensor detect the presence of the medical capsule or bottles, the rotor should stop for 2 seconds, and within 2 seconds, the nozzle should open for a very short interval of time for 0.15 second to fill the capsule or bottles. After 2 seconds, the rotor should once again start again to rotate. The sequence 2 to 4 should be continued till your home position sensor is detected, okay, for one complete rotation. And the next sequence is the entire thing, that is entire rotation should be carried out twice. And if you press the run button in between the operation, okay, the count of the sequence should be reset. Now let us think about the programming part, how to develop the ladder logic program. See, it is always better to represent or develop program using some kind of sequential logic. That means we need to allocate some memory to indicate the state of the process. See, in this particular program, I have used two memory bits to indicate the status of the process. Memory bit M2, which is an user addressable memory bit, is used to represent the current state of running of the process. That is, when I press start button, then the entire process is in run mode. So that status is hold in M2. Similarly, there is another bit M0, which is used to indicate the status of the timing operation. That is, when the rotor has run, uh, when the medical capsule is exactly below the solenoid, we need to wait for 2 seconds. Okay, the timing operation, that status is indicated by M2. So keep this in mind. Let us see the program. Okay. See, when the run button is pressed, I am setting M2. You just check here. I am using a kind of retentive instruction. So for every output, I should have two rung. One rung for setting the particular bit and another rung for resetting the bit. So observe it carefully. So when the first rung is when the run button is pressed, your run status flag is set. It is turned on. Even if you remove your hand from the run button, the set value of M2 that will remain as it is because it is a retentive instruction, set instruction. Now, when the rotor should start to rotate, that is when the process is in run mode, it is M2 is 1, and it is not in timing mode, that is M0 is 0. In such case, my rotor should be set. So, this is the second instruction. M2 is present and M0 is not present, or M0 is 0. In such case, we need to set the rotor. Okay. Now, when do we set the status flag for timer? That is whenever the ultrasonic sensor detects the presence of capsule below the nozzle, then immediately we should start timing. So at that point, I am just setting this M0 status flag. I'll repeat once again. M2 is used to indicate the run mode of the process. M0 is used to represent the timing operation in the process, or timing state of the process. So whenever the sensor is detected, you are enabling or setting the timing status of the process. Okay. So once this process timing status is set, okay, we need to turn on two timers. So one timer is for 2 seconds. So for that, in FATEC PLC, there is a timer number available T200. It is an 1 second timer. While explaining about the basic operation of PLC, in that while discussing about timer, I said there will be an accumulated value inside the timer, and when we enable the timer at regular time interval, the accumulated value will be incremented. So the time interval is set sometimes directly in instruction in certain PLC. In FATEC PLCs, they have provided separate timer number. For example, T200 is an 1 second base timer. That means for every 1 second, the timer accumulated value will be incremented. Here we need 2 second delay. So therefore, my preset value I have entered it as 2. Okay. While explaining the timer operation, I would have written this instruction little bit different, but I hope just by seeing these numbers, you should be able to identify these two represents a preset value. Every manufacturer have their own small modifications in the instructions. Okay, but basically they mean same timer only. Okay. So when the timer is enabled, okay, that is after 2 seconds, I am resetting my M0 because this M0 indicates the timing mode of your process. So once your timer is done, that means I should reset my M0. Okay. Parallelly, when M0 is enabled, we are also turning up uh, another timer which is 0.01 second timer, and its timer number in FATEC PLC is T1, and the preset value is 15. So therefore the total time delay will be 15 into 0.01, that is 0.15 seconds for a very short period. And uh, so during this period our solenoid will be turned on. Okay. So once M0 becomes 0, automatically this status of this timer will be completely wiped off, and it will in the next iteration, or when the next capsule comes below the nozzle, it will start as if the process is starting new. This timer, both the timers, in fact. Okay. Next, now what happens? All the capsules are filled. So there is a home sensor which will indicate your starting position. So once all the rotations are done, your sensor will be turned on, and this home sensor is used to increment the count in a counter. What is the purpose of counter? The counter counts the number of false to true transition in a run. Okay. So when a home sensor is reached, then there will be a sudden transition of rung logic from 0 to 1. Okay. So that will be counted as 1. Our requirement is this entire rotation has to be done for 2 times. So in the counter, the preset value is set as 2. Okay. Okay. In order to clear the counter, okay, we are using the run bit because that is one of our sequence. That is, when run bit is pressed, the count of the sequence 2 to 5 should be reset. So the reset part of the counter, I am connecting this run bit or run button. Okay. So once the timer has done, I am resetting my M2. What is M2? M2 indicates the total run mode. So we need to rotate twice. After that, we have to stop. Okay. So whenever home sensor is detected, count will be incremented by 1. So when uh, the preset value is reached in the counter will be done, and at that point we are resetting the M2 bit, that is the run bit. So after two rotations, our rotor will stop. In fact, the entire process will stop. Once you press your run button, then the same sequence as I explained will be happening for two rotations. So this is the operation of the PLC. Okay. See, this particular diagram explains how we have to connect the inputs and outputs in a typical PLC hardware. In the previous videos in Introduction to PLC, I have shown you the real pin diagram of the FATEC PLC. In that, what we will have is power supply pins, that is your plus and minus, where you connect your positive of your battery power supply, and minus you will connect your ground. And from your positive of your battery, you will connect your inputs. Okay, first input is going to be our run push button, that is connected to X0, and the ultrasonic sensor is connected to X1 from positive of the battery. Keep that in mind. And another sensor, home sensor, that is also connected from X2. Okay. Now, how to connect the outputs? This also I explained in previous video. Just keep that in mind. See, what happens when you turn on a particular bit in the output is there is an internal relay or internal circuitry which will connect C0 and corresponding output. For example, if I turning on Y0, internal relay will close C0 and Y0. So an electrical contact will be established between your C0 and Y0. Whatever potential available in C0, that can be received at Y0. So in C0, we have to connect this 24-volt power supply, and from Y0 it is connected to the rotor motor or the contactor running the motor, and similarly from Y1 we have connected it to a solenoid. This is the schematic representation of a solenoid. Now when you turn on Y0, that is your rotor motor, the internal connection will be established, therefore this entire 24 volt will be available across Y0, and your motor will start to run. Similarly the case for solenoid. Okay. So in this video, we have discussed about the fundamental setup for this experiment. That is the dosing pump setup. We have seen what are all the sequence of operation required, what are all the inputs, outputs, and how we have to connect your inputs and outputs in the PLC. And we have also discussed about the ladder logic program. Okay, this program you need to feed into the PC. There is a separate software called WinPro Ladder where you can enter the software. In another video, I will just highlight how to work with that software, and I'll show the hardware demo. Okay, and we have also seen these connections. See, actually, if you see the actual setup, okay, the internal PLC connections will not be available because these have been enclosed in a case, and the kit manufacturer have given some terminals that where we can connect those terminals using patch cord. Okay, that particular connection diagram, that is what we will actually establish in our lab, that I will share it with you in the Moodle. Okay, but if you make that connection internally, what happens is this particular type of connection will be established. So what they have done is at each and every point they have given some terminals. So through patch cards we'll be able to make these connections. Okay, in the next video we will see the demonstration of this particular PLC program and how we have to enter that program in WinPro Ladder software. Thank you.